In today's video, we got week 9 picks. Super excited. Maybe not your expected game of the week this week, but you know what? We got some good picks here, and I'm poised to have a good week this week. So let's go. All right, welcome back here. We got our picks today. Last week was a stinker. I think I won 6 games last week. There are multiple teams I didn't expect to win that won, and it was quite disheartening. I'm like 6 points out of first place, and when you're looking at 12 games and you know the top 3 people you're friends with at work, and you guys all have like thoughts, it's gonna be a hole and a half to dig out of. But we're going through this week. We got our week 9 picks. Let's get at them. Now, rules, remember, you know, the lines, I do have lines posted on here. These were the opening lines, or when I pulled this Monday morning, I put next to each one what the line was. If they have changed or swayed since, I'm not looking at it, unless you're Ohio State or Toledo, because those are the 2 that pop up first on my ESPN feed, since I'm a fan of both. And anyways, here we go. Game number 1, speaking of Ohio State, Nebraska at number 4, Ohio State. We got Ohio State 25.5 point favorite. That has stayed all week. I don't see any reason why this game's close. I think coming off a loss at Oregon by 1 point and having a bye week to get some of those questionable people healthy, I don't see why this isn't a drubbing, personally. I think that the defense that stunk via Oregon, I think schematically they didn't rush the passer very well. They didn't barely blitz at all, unless it was an obvious run situation. And then Denzel Burke on the outside, who was touted as this amazing cornerback. I mean, I've seen him do amazing things. He probably had the worst game of his life last week. I expect that this is a get-right game, and I am so sorry, Nebraska. So I'm taking Ohio State. Nevertheless, game number 2, we got Michigan State at Michigan. Michigan a 5-point favorite at the Open. Michigan looks rough. I watched that game last week with Illinois. They just look rough. They're lost at the quarterback position. Mullins and what's his name, Donovan Edwards seem to be okay. I mean, running. But the problem is if you're just going to run the ball because you want to use them, then put Orji in there and do a 3-guy running offense like a Navy, like a wing T with an occasional throw here or there. I struggle to see what this offense was doing anything good. Michigan State gave Ohio State and gave Oregon a game in the first half, but they just got overwhelmed in the second by both teams. So I'd be interested to see how this goes. I'm going to pick Michigan State on this one, just because I've seen better things out of Michigan State than I have Michigan. That's it. Only reason. Game number 3, Bowling Green at Toledo. The Battle of I-75 here. Living in Toledo here, it's a big deal. Was in the college marching band when I was at UT, and this was the biggest week of the year. Regardless of who else you were playing, whatever upsets happened in the week, this was the biggest week of the year because it's the rival 30 minutes away, right down I-75 there. Toledo is a 2.5 point favorite. And Bowling Green has been interesting because I feel like I picked them every week this week because I think they're better than some of the teams they've played and they've stubbed their toe. Like Old Dominion beat them, and someone else I can't remember, but they just got it was uncharacteristic, right? And I think Bowling Green was picked to win the MAC this year preseason. However, I'm going home team Toledo, my alma mater. Go Rockets. Game number 4, we got Illinois, number 20 Illinois, coming off a big win over Michigan at home at number 1 Oregon. Game's a 21.5 point Oregon favorite. Sorry, Illinois. Sorry, Brett Bielema. You're good against the ground and pound teams. I don't put you up much against the Flying Ducks. So we're going Oregon here by a significant margin. Game number 5, number 3, Penn State at Wisconsin. Now I'm seeing a lot of people questioning either this line or somebody knows something about something that I don't know, because there's a lot of, I've heard it more so this week than ever, of top 5 ranked teams losing versus unranked team. you know, no one saw Alabama Vandy happening, right? But people are calling this. Penn State at Wisconsin. They're calling Wisconsin to upset Penn State. Penn State's 6.5-point favorite right now. I'm going Penn State because, like I said, I don't believe that they're going to lose. I think it might be tight, like less than a touchdown, maybe a field goal game. But I don't buy that Penn State's going to lose. I mean, it is a night game in Camp Randall. Weird things happen up there every once in a while. Remember those Terrell Pryor Ohio State days when they lost up there? Nevertheless, I'm still going Penn State. Game number 6, we got 17, Boise State and Ashton Genty heading to the fine desert of Las Vegas, going to UNLV. Friday night game. Boise State only a 3-point favorite. This is kind of the battle of the Mountain West here right now. These two are clearly the top 2 teams there by a long shot. And I'm believing in the Boise State Broncos, so I'm going the Broncos to win here. Game number 7, BYU at UCF. Weird saying BYU without thinking Mountain West, but they are now in the Big 12. So number 11, BYU at UCF. Going from Utah down to Central Florida to play this game. My gut is BYU needs to be on upset alert. This is, I would say, the one upset I picked this week. That's a significant upset. I say significant because you're talking about 11th ranked team in the country versus a non-ranked team in the country. BYU was opened at a 2-point favorite. Once again, somebody knows something about something. I'm going UCF at home to upset BYU. Game number 8, 21 Missouri at 15 Alabama. Alabama's had a rough go of it lately. I think this is kind of their see we're not dead yet moment, and Missouri hasn't looked very good. I know their quarterback Cook went down a couple times, came back, led them to a win. After coming back from his issue, Bama's a 13.5-point favorite. I'm going Alabama at home as a get right. They need it. If they don't win this, kiss their playoff hopes goodbye. Just call it out. Game number 9. We got number 5 Texas at 25 Vanderbilt. Texas 18.5-point favorite at Vandy. I'm going Texas. I just don't think Vandy can upset 2 top 5 teams in the same year. Maybe they can. I hope they do, because I love chaos, so I hope they do. It's chaos in college football. I don't like chaos in real life, but I like chaos in college football rankings, because that just stirs the pot and gives us something to talk about every week. So I'm picking Texas. Game number 10, we got 8 LSU at 14 Texas A&M. Texas A&M being the 14 versus the 8 is the favorite at 2.5 in College Station. Last time Texas A&M was at home and a slight favorite against somebody better, I picked the other team to beat them, and they lost. So I'm going this time only because I'm learning from my past. I did pick Notre Dame to beat Texas A&M earlier in the year, but there was another time right after that where they hosted a team. They were that was a higher ranked. They were a slight favorite. I picked the higher ranked team. Now I'm picking Texas A&M to win at home. Get that 12th man's cooking. Game number 11. We got Auburn at Kentucky. Now tight line here. Opened at 2.5 Kentucky. This is one where I don't know much about Auburn besides they stink. So I'm going with Kentucky because their defense plays hard. Mark Stoops is a great coach. He's got that defense playing tough. You don't ever see them getting completely blown out. I think they did last week at Florida, but a couple of them were we'll call garbage time touchdowns. Nevertheless, I'm picking Kentucky to win at home as a 2.5-point favorite. And then the game of the week, game you probably hadn't heard yet. I'm wondering I wonder if he's going to put that one on there. We're going with number 12 Notre Dame at undefeated Navy. Number 24 Navy. Navy and Air Force, the service academies are kicking butt this year. I'm going to tell you something. Navy looks good. Navy's going to be a tough out. Notre Dame Navy is always a highly emotional game. That the triple option that Navy runs, really screws with players or with teams, especially top-ranked teams who are beefy up front because you don't know where the ball's going, and those big behemoths, or what do they call them in NCAA games buffet busters. They can't like swivel on a dime, and if they're here, there, and everywhere, how are you going to catch them? I'm saying all that because I think this is a really close game. Opening line was 12.5 for Notre Dame. I believe it's closer than that, and I hope I'm right because I love watching a good football game. So I'm picking Notre Dame. And the only reason I'm picking Notre Dame is because there's a good friend here who I work with who's a Notre Dame guy. And so I'm picking this one for him. Picking Notre Dame to win in a combined points of 42. So I see a kind of a low-scoring contest, maybe like a 22-20 or 24-18 kind of game. Nothing above and beyond a ridiculous point spread. Nobody's scoring 40 in this game, I don't think. Personally, don't think. But those are my picks this week. We got Ohio State, Michigan State, Toledo, Oregon, Penn State, Boise State, UCF, Alabama, Texas, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and Notre Dame with 42 points for that tiebreaker game. So thanks for tuning in. Give me a like, give the channel a subscribe, the video a like, and keep following along for college picks. I'm starting to get back into posting some more fitness content as well. I'm getting my shorts going back up. I haven't been posting much. I was kind of sick earlier this week, which is why I'm recording this on Friday, by the way, Friday morning. Had a little 24-hour bug. It wasn't really great. Kind of knocked me out for a little more than 24 hours. So I'm still feeling a little nasally still. But overall, I'm feeling much better. So let's go. As always, be kind, be courteous, watch college football, treat each other with respect. We'll see you.